Trump. They can't stand Trump. You know, they got a bias against Trump. It's amazing how biased people get against Trump once they get to look at the intelligence on Trump. You know, this is, you know,
right.
It's very telling how a lot of people who were fine with Trump or didn't really have an opinion on him, they start seeing this stuff. And again, that happens, you know, the weirdest one, you know, is I guess, what's his name? And I just mentioned him a couple minutes ago. Now his name's Jonah. The guy who looks like a B-level wizard, evil wizard in Harry Potter. But you've got all these like retiring GOP reps, and I'm sure the chat room will tell me again really quick. Who am I talking about? The really creepy looking guy. No, not Gorka. Gorka's just always looked creepy. He hasn't turned on Trump at all. Nope, Ty Cobb, not the one. He just looks hilarious. It's the Republican guy who was all up in the Benghazi stuff. It's gonna but you guys will get it in a second. It's gonna drive me crazy. But the idea being that you're right. They're just Gowdy. Thank you, Kurt, for Congress 2018. Look at that. Trey Gowdy, like all of them look crazy. There's so many of them. I type in retiring GOP rep Benghazi, and Trey Gowdy, you know, is the guy who keeps. This guy comes out like is suddenly having these comeuppance, these moments where he's realizing it, and I think it's because he says, "I don't like being a congressman. I don't have a lot to show for it." He saw the intelligence, and as soon as he was on the intelligence, and he saw 11 Benghazi hearings. He finally sees the Trump stuff. He's quitting and saying everything I did while I was a congressman was a waste of time. That's the reality of the modern Republican Party and anybody who gets a good look at him. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks, Johnny Million. Thank you, Lady B. Thanks, Eli, for stepping in. We'll see you guys next week. Follow Johnny Million. Follow me on Twitter. Like and subscribe to the show. Don't forget, we'll see you next time. We'll have a little post show for about a short one today because I'm taking camp. Bye, Johnny Million. Thank you, Eli. Appreciate it, you guys. I'm signing off right now so that we don't get the music coming in. Bye-bye. So, what? Yeah. Let's see. So chat room, how you doing? Fiction accomplished. That's the show for today. Awesome. More cake. Thank you. It was a good show today. I'm gonna do a little. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Let's see. The post show seems to. I don't know if the regular show gets up as well. Are you guys able to watch the regular show? Let's see. Let's start there. Yeah. So talking to the chat room, I want to start off the post show by saying thanks to Hal Vickery and Carter 360 and Natalie and Billy and Ath and Ginger and Amos for kicking into the super chat today. Bless you guys for doing that. Really helps a lot. Trey Gowdy's the most curious one of all because he's always been such a disgusting dude. And now, you know, obviously, it's amazing. This is it's amazing the language this guy in particular is using. He literally said, "I haven't been good, I don't think, in Congress, and I don't enjoy it." Like, there's none of the whole, like, well, I'm retiring. It's been a great honor to serve. Like, he's like, no, this kind of sucked, and I was terrible, and I really didn't help. Trey Gowdy wants a judgeship. That's entirely possible. Maybe that's the balance argument. But still, to me, like, it's pretty bizarre. Yeah, and I agree, Carl. I just wonder how much they're willing to continue voting for him. You know what I mean? Um, it's I just find his language of everybody's particularly odd. You know what I mean? Like, it's just peculiar. Like, he's yeah. Where's his whole I'm gonna find one of his I just yeah. Like, he hits Comey for his book, for politicizing the FBI, and it's below the dignity of the office. That's fine, or whatever. And the irony, whatever. That's um but his that's why. That's why. Trey Gowdy. I misspelled it, so that's why it comes up. All of his language about it has been particularly telling. Leaving politics entirely. He's literally was the committee chairman. It's now, granted, I always leave open the option that these guys maybe Gowdy has a quantum entanglement with an ethical Gowdy. Yeah, and they swapped spaces. I feel so bad for that parallel universe. No one actually enjoys being in the voting chambers. It's the price we pay to actually get things done. Yeah, I mean, I think you can kind of understand the balance of it and vote for what you feel most of the time. Playboy Playmate, just wait. Boy. Maybe Gowdy was visited by ghosts of Christmas past. He looks like one of the ghosts of Christmas past. It's weird. Didn't we give the task of removing Assad's chemical weapons to Russians in 2015? Too, if the bum in the White House really cared, why did he ban refugees as first order of business? Oh, exactly right. Dude, Kirk for Congress, like that. One of the constant weird parts is this. He did this last week with the people coming, supposedly the South American caravan that was coming this way. Remember the whole conversation about the South American caravan? And all of a sudden, he's like, 80% of the women in this caravan have been raped, but don't let any of them in. And as a matter of fact, don't let any of them in. And I'm sending National Guard to make sure that none of them even sneak across the border. That in and of itself is, I always have to keep checking to see if Cam's sneaking up on me. The skin on Trey Gowdy's head is very tight. Yeah, and very thin. It is peculiar. In 1999, Newt Gingrich was a disgraced monster driven from power, radioactive dead man. By 2009, he was the most frequent guest on Meet the Press. Yeah, and this week they've been rolling him out to talk about the politics of the strikes in Syria as well. Like, it's that part of it's just goofy. We could do a whole show on Newt Gingrich, and I'd rather not. Cam's getting his gear together. He's doing his own show in the other room. So what about, how about Boner transitioning from being to being a marijuana lobbyist? That's not surprising at all. Both Ohio Valley and Kentucky could be helped immensely by the legalization of hemp and pot, period. Especially hemp. So I'm not surprised at all as they look at economically what would benefit the farmers in those areas. Just being able to grow hemp in and of itself, all the uses it has, and how much less damaging it is for the environment than tobacco or corn, even. But the irony that that for years these guys considered pot a class 1 narcotic, a class A narcotic like heroin. Just the hypocrisy that that jailed people forever and ended lives, and now they're like, maybe there's something to this now that I can make coin. So disappointingly, only 5 out of the 104 in the state finals were girls. Sorry, state finals for what, Denise? I missed that part. I didn't. I couldn't see the beginning. Someone told Boehner that his constant drinking would kill his liver, so he tried weed out of desperation. You're not wrong, Evernum. That absolutely could have been the gateway. Yeah, Ginger, you're absolutely right. Like, hemp in and of itself could transform Appalachia, no question. And the residual stuff from, when you can use every part of hemp, but even the like retooling of the roots, it just doesn't sap as much stuff from the ground. The vitamins and stuff you need for it. It makes a great rotation crop. It's very resilient. You can grow it on hillsides. And still harvest it. There's tons of options for doing this. My son won third place in the Texas State National Geographic Bee last weekend. Oh, that's great. Um, that's congratulations. Yeah, hemp is a much better fuel than gasoline. 2 growing seasons a year. Yeah. If anything, marijuana farms would make Appalachia happy. Yeah. Well, it also solves a lot of the opioid issues that they have as well. Because when in states that have legalized pot, opioid prescription problems have gone down. So my mom has always been anti-drugs, but now she's calling for legalization of pot nationwide. Yeah. Hemp makes a very soft lotion. Indeed, it does. Carter 360, well pointed. Then I used it for medicine, and I become a devotee. Like the use of CBD oil, it makes a lot of sense. I don't like. You guys know me. I don't use any mind-altering drugs because I like how my mind works on its own. But all the ancillary products that are available because of pot and hemp that don't change your thought process, I'm for 100%. Why can't we have hemp factories here in California? Exactly, Susie Q. We should. The most alarmed scientists interested in climate change claim a livable human environment on Earth. Not sure how I feel about that. Almost done. I'll be there in a minute. I used to be very anti-drug, but I've seen the science on cannabis and it should be legal. I agree. Prohibiting drugs is clearly not working and really bad for people getting rich. We regulate and tax. I think there's limits on that. I don't believe that heroin and certain drugs should be readily available like that. I think they're dangerous and damaging. There's no balanced use of it. But I don't think you should criminalize it. It's where you should be legalizing of pot on the same level and even there should be arguably some protective elements on things like ecstasy and those things which were started out as psychoreactive drugs. Give us back our pot and we'll forget about the crack. That's Sam Kinison, right? Using marijuana just for its benefits and alleviating nausea from chemotherapy in and of itself is worth it. I agree. How wasn't pot banned for racist reasons? Racist reasons to ban it. It wasn't banned for racist reasons. They used that as the reason to get rid of hemp, essentially, because the idea that the newspapers were made out of Hearthstone paper mills, didn't want to make newspapers out of hemp, and so he used that as a way to scare your average white 50s person into into thinking that brown people high on drugs were going to rape them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, decriminalization versus legalization for very similar to sex work. There's a difference between decriminalization and legalization. Right. Originally banned to protect the paper industry. Yeah, every now